Well, hey everybody, it's Paul and I'm here with Denise and it is the P&D podcast. And we like to do some videos about her cruise experience because you're just coming back fresh from vacation on a cruise ship.
Another cruise ship.
Another
Yes.
one, yes. Now, before we go into it, I gotta say two things. Number one, we're not sponsored by Royal. We're loyal to Royal, but not sponsored by Royal. Am I right?
There you go. Absolutely.
I don't know why we're not sponsored by Roy. We should. They
We
kick us.
should be
Yeah,
sponsored.
right. Give you some extra spa points or something, right? For okay. So the people know though. This is cruise number what?
19?
Cruise
19.
number 19. So you've been around. You've been around the ship, so to speak. You know what I'm
I've
saying?
been around a couple, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's you've got a lot of experience, I would say. I mean, there's probably not too many people that have been on too many more cruises than that.
Oh, well, you would be surprised. There are people that actually live on the cruise ships.
Really?
No
That is
kidding.
that is the life, right? That would be for me.
I think it would be for me too. All you have to do is just open your mouth and they feed you.
Just show up. Show up and I'm ready for the fun and the sun.
There you go.
That I'm
There you
cut
go.
out for that.
There absolutely are tons of people that spend months and months at a time sailing, which
Hmm.
surprised me. I mean, I did not think that I would be able to do that, and yet I can go for 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm perfectly happy to stay on.
Yeah,
So
it's like withdrawals, right? When you have to go.
it really is. I mean, it's withdrawal. I come home and there is nobody to feed me. There's nobody to make my bed or,
Right before you came back from the Navigator, you were on a different cruise ship called
the anthem of the seas.
Anthem of the Seas, another Royal.
Anyway, they're both great ships. I mean, I really do like Royal. I mean, I'm sure there's other ships out there. I mean, people always say Celebrity is really nice, and but I think you have to work your way into some points and
Hmm.
get somewhere. If you're going to be doing some sailing, you need to
Right,
stick with one. I think.
right,
If
right.
otherwise, you're just nothing.
So the loyalty points are really they're actually they're
The
worth it.
loyalty points are great, but it's getting harder and harder because now they keep upping how many points you need to be anybody.
Okay.
Yes, I finally get to the top and they shovel the top higher. So, oh, that's okay. I'll just have to go on more cruises. That's all.
Right. Well, I just thought it would be helpful for a newbie like me, somebody that's never been on a cruise, if we could compare and contrast between, say, the Anthem and the Navigator. Because somebody out there may be looking to book a cruise and is wondering these things. So I was just saying the obvious thing to me is one is bigger, one is newer, and one, of course, is smaller and older. But tell us about your experience on each and, your preferences or what stands out to you.
Well, the Anthem of the Seas is only a couple years old. I think it was 2015 that it came out,
Okay.
and it's bigger
Mm-hmm.
and newer, and of course, bigger and newer has the wow in it.
Okay.
The Navigator, I think, is around 2000, 2002, so it's a little bit older. However, it's not that much smaller. I mean, it's smaller and it's a different class, but it holds. They hold a lot of people, both of them.
Sure.
Um, the Anthem is, it's friendly it's family friendly, but they're both family friendly. But it has cool things in it, like it's got the iFly, which is a skydiving adventure.
Okay.
It has the North Star, which is that contraption that you go up into, and it's like it puts you up in the air I've sent pictures of it.
Yeah,
I
it's
really,
like and I'll put those in the video, but it's like a kind of like a bubble on the arm of a cherry
yes,
picker, like a
cherry
huge one that
picker.
those guys work on wires with or whatever, but you're enclosed in a bubble. But
It's very cool.
hmm
It's very cool. I mean, they put you out over the water, they put you out over the ship, and the ship is amazing looking from that viewpoint. And they have endless pools. I think they have like 7 pools. It's
wow.
something ridiculous. But uh, the thing I don't like about it is pools are smaller.
Okay.
So that's a less points for me because I like the bigger pools. These they have a lot of them, but they're smaller. And they both have fitness centers. All the ships have fitness centers, but they have great fitness centers, and
Okay.
everybody there exercises. Everybody.
Wow. Oh, that's good though. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they both have movie screens on the pool side, which is really, really nice. I mean, they have movies late at night, and people go up and they sit on the chairs, the sun chairs,
Right.
and they just get popcorn and watch a movie or whatever.
So it's
And they
actually even at night it's comfortable. There's no
oh, it
like
is.
mosquitoes bugging you or
No, not out there, or not me. No, no, there's none. I've never heard anybody complain about being bit.
okay.
You're so far from land.
I see.
Um,
Sure, they wouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they all have casinos,
Okay.
which
Well,
they do.
yeah.
And to entice you, they give you $5 worth
Okay.
of coin to spend in
Sure.
there. And I always take my $5 and I go, well, I just started doing this. The last 2 cruises, I never have done it before because I'm not a gambler. But
hmm
I go in and I do my $5 worth, and then I take everything I won and I take it with me.
There you go. That's what I would do. Absolutely.
That's it. So they don't make anything on me.
So now
Um,
I was
go
just thinking like the Navigator's a smaller one. Now on that, do you feel more of the ocean rocking? Is it
No,
less? No?
no, I don't. I was raised on a boat. No, I mean,
Okay.
I lived on the water my entire life. I lived on the Atlantic. So you're asking the wrong person. However, I don't see anybody getting seasick or anything.
Okay.
My sister, who went with me on the Navigator, they had a couple days where she said she could feel it a little bit at night. It rocked her to sleep at night.
Oh, okay.
But it it wasn't anything bad, it wasn't anything that she complained about, and
Okay.
so
Good.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
just one thing that popped into my mind, was if the one was more stable or. So now what is the vibe like on each?
Well, the I think on the Navigator, and from the pictures that I sent you, I think you'll agree that it is a more genteel type of
hmm
setting. I
Yeah.
think it's a little grander looking, a little classier.
Yeah,
Maybe
what
that's
yeah, classic, like timeless
hmm
almost.
yeah.
Not old looking.
No, but it's
Um
classy.
yeah.
It has the lighting is perfect. The I sent you a video of the just the elevators
Yeah,
going up and
even
down.
yeah, they're beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
everything is nice and rounded. And what I noticed on the Navigator, and I've seen the pictures on both, and I told you right away, I think, and it goes against, I think I would prefer the Navigator just from the looks of it. It's got so much beautiful tile, and it just seemed like it was maybe less crowded. Um,
I personally prefer the Navigator
okay.
over the Anthem. Now, I probably will go on the Anthem more because it's closer to me.
Oh, yeah.
I can
From,
jump on that right out of
right,
New Jersey,
right,
and I'm in Washington D.C.
right.
So the others are in Florida,
hmm
and so that's a plane ride, and sometimes I just don't have that kind of time.
Sure.
But I think I like. I'll give you the Anthem does not have a grand dining room. Now that might not sound like a big deal to you, but did you see the pictures of the
Oh
grand
yeah,
dining room?
it's
Great.
amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It
really is.
it's like magical to eat there every night. I know that sounds silly, but it is. I
Yeah.
really I enjoy it. I get the same waiter. Before I even get there, he knows what I like to drink. He knows all the little things about me, and he has it done before I even get there.
That is amazing.
Yes, he
That is
knows that
cool.
I am on time. He knows my sister is 15 minutes late. So they know these things. So she doesn't get her drink right away. I get mine right away because I'm there.
Sure.
Um, the they have separate little dining rooms on the Anthem
Okay.
where it's a much smaller. It's like eating in a restaurant, and I guess because I've never had a cruise ship that was like that, and I'm not used to it, but I really don't like it. I
It
can eat
felt
at a restaurant
different.
at home.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the low ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that grid. It's not got that big grand staircase, and
Right.
I don't know. To me, it's just a little less grand.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you ask any kid, they would all rather be on the Anthem.
Because it has more of the bells and whistles.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
And it's fun. They yeah, it's fun. They all have the flow rider, they all have the climbing wall.
Mm-hmm.
The Navigator has an ice skating rink, which the Anthem does not. But they all have things, you know.
Sure. Sure.
So I think that they're equal in what they have, just different. That's all.
Okay.
For me, I think that if I had a kid, I probably would go on the Anthem.
Oh,
But
yeah, a young.
mhm. But there
Right.
were a lot of young couples on the Navigator. There was a lot of young people, and I'm not sure if it was because of price or where it was or when it was going, but there was a lot of young people on there. And I mean, 20 something, 30 something.
Okay.
And yeah, so not so many kids.
Yeah, I noticed that just from the pictures. You
Yeah.
could clearly tell there were not as many children.
Well, the other thing is the week before was spring break. So
Okay,
they
sure.
all went then.
Right, right.
And they ran out of money for this next week. So,
Right, of course.
but yeah, there weren't as many kids. And there's only three pools on that ship,
Hmm.
but it's three nice sized pools.
Right,
And
right.
I have to admit, the difference in the pools is really funny too. And you're going to laugh at me when I say this, but I've noticed it makes a difference with a lot of people. On one of the ships, which the Anthem had, I think it was the Anthem, um, you get into the pool from a ladder. That's how you enter.
Okay.
And okay. And on the Navigator, they had stairs.
Huh.
And I don't care.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that do. It's hard to crawl up those
Those ladders.
they're boat
Yeah,
ladders is
right. That's what I
basically what
was.
they are, but a
Hmm.
lot of people have trouble with them,
Hmm.
and it's not as they don't like it as much. So
Right.
the Navigator has, I would say, a better pool
Hmm.
experience for people
Yeah,
that
I
have
would think.
trouble with that.
Sure, and that's an important distinction. I know I would. Stairs would just be so much easier than having to cling up a ladder.
I'm not sure why they don't all have stairs,
Yeah.
honestly. I really don't, but most of them do have the ladders, which I
Okay.
find, not so cool.
Not as good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have trouble with them, but I see a lot of people that do. So
Sure.
I think that that's pretty terrible.
That's a good
And
distinction, though. That's a good point, really. Like,
I'm sure that's
squeeze
what it
every,
is, to
yeah,
maximize all their space.
right,
The older ships are, like I said, it's more genteel.
yeah,
It's,
luxurious,
hmm
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
spacious, like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think it's easier for anybody with a disability, or scooters, or, there's a lot of space. I can pass it, a scooter in my hallway, um, where on the Anthem, nah, I better let the scooter go.
okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's just from the pictures and from talking to you while you were on both of them, it seemed like, to me, the Navigator was more of a laid back, more of a maybe less stress, more casual, laid back vibe feel than the Anthem.
Well, that's funny you should say that. I think that the Anthem is more laid back.
Really?
Um, yeah, in their dress and everything, because they have formal nights where everybody dresses up formal. And on the Navigator, it's like if you're on a 9-day cruise, you'll get two formal nights where everybody dresses up. And on they changed it. The Anthem used to be formal night was when you ate at a certain restaurant. so,
Huh.
so part of
Okay.
the ship was formal and part wasn't. And
I
it made
see.
it awkward for a lot of things that they did on formal night. Now they've
Uh-huh.
changed it, and so they have formal night altogether. But a lot of people don't dress for it because they don't get that formal feeling in that restaurant.
Yeah,
So,
right, right. It would, yeah, there's something that's just not
so I
as,
think there
yeah,
were less people that dressed up formal, and whatever. I mean, some people just don't like dressing up, and
right,
that's fine
right.
too.
Yeah,
But there is something fun about dressing up. I mean, it's fun. I like it. I like
yeah.
to, get my hair all done and
Oh, yeah.
dress all up, and it's nice. It's fun. So,
Sure. Well, now, as far as like the entertainment, what did you find?
okay, now the entertainment. I have to tell you that Anthem won hands down.
Okay.
Yes, the entertainment is nice on the Navigator, but it's outstanding on Anthem. As as far as the shows that they had on the Anthem, they trying to think of what show they had, but it was wonderful. I've seen it like 4 times now because I did not know this at first, but they only change their plays once every 5 years.
Really? Okay.
First of all, most people don't cruise that much, and if they do, they go on different ships.
Exactly.
And second of all, it takes a lot of time and energy to train
Oh, yeah.
with
All
the
the
ship.
different people, him to learn all the different lines. I could see
Yes.
that for sure.
Well, and the actors go on like 7-month contracts,
Okay.
so they have to retrain. They have to train another in
Mm-hmm.
7 months. So they only change them every 5 years. They buy the rights to them,
Okay.
and so it's expensive
Sure.
and a lot of work. So that's why they do that. So it's a wonderful show, and I actually enjoyed it, seeing it all those times. Now,
Mm-hmm.
on the Navigator, they have, I don't want to say less actors, but I would say that they might start off there and work their way up
Worked
to
her
a
way
bigger
up.
ship,
Okay. Sure.
maybe.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, I mean, their entertainment is not as amazing. It's nice, it's fun, and heck, it's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm always in. Um, but I have to say the Anthem has better entertainment.
Well, I
But
just know, like on the Navigator, when we were talking, you were outside of one of the bars, and they had the piano and the guitar thing going. And
okay, but that's totally different. They both
okay,
have that,
they both
and
have. Okay, good then.
yes, and that is quite amazing everywhere you go on the ship. There's different bars, there's different lounges, there's people playing piano in the middle of the hallway.
Okay.
in on one of the promenades, and so you can just sit down and listen to it. I know I talked to you a couple times and from the ship,
Right, right.
and yeah, you can hear music wherever you go.
Yeah, and
So
I thought it was good too, even though, like you say, it was maybe where they start out, but in as the guys changed or whatnot, they were
now
all good.
that's different. That's different entertainment. They don't start there. That's different. I'm talking about the
The
plays and
plays, I see. Right.
most the acting and things like that.
Got it.
The ice show. They have an ice skating rink. You can ice skate, and then they have an ice show on
Okay.
the Navigator. And I was on. I think it was the Oasis class ships. They also have the ice skating rink, and their ice skaters are amazing. These ice skaters are beginning their careers, I would say,
Okay.
or ending their careers. There's just a difference in, I would say, the talent,
Hmm.
and but it's not like you would still enjoy it.
Oh,
It's just if
absolutely.
you've been on different ones, you notice the difference. That's all.
Sure. And that's what we're trying to point out,
Hmm.
because one person may want to favor one way or
Boy,
another way. So,
it's really hard though because they're both amazing ships in
hmm,
different ways, and I would say that most people would have a good time on either one.
right, right. I just thought it was interesting that the one was older, and you would think, well, that's probably the one that you wouldn't choose, but for both of us, just from the pictures for me, but you experiencing it, it seemed we both favored the older ship. It's kind
I
of
like the older
counterintuitive,
ships.
but
I do. I like the older ships. They're more generous in space. They're grander in so many ways. The newer ships are slick,
hmm,
and they're nice, and they're I don't even know how to explain it. It's very now, but the older ships are just they're classic. They'll
hmm,
they'll be in style in 50 more years.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and they'll be refitting those new ships over and over and over.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. They keep them all current. That's the
They keep
nice.
them all
Yeah,
current.
I mean, just that's why I want to stress. Like looking at the Navigator. Well, and I'll be putting up all the pictures. People will see that it's phenomenal. It looks beautiful.
Well, they
Both the
add
ships.
things to
Yeah,
them, like the Flow Rider is where you get up and you kind of surf.
surf
It,
right.
okay. Now, that was fairly new. That came with the Oasis class ship, the Oasis down in Florida, the really big ones.
Okay,
But as they refit the ships, they added on. They've added the Flow Rider to the Navigator.
okay.
They've
Yeah,
added the rock climbing wall. You know, they keep adding things
sure.
to all of them to make them current and
Yeah, modernize them. Sure.
yeah, modernize them and add things, the amenities that will make people want to go on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I don't know. I I think they both had really nice amenities. I think that the Anthem had more places to sit, little corners.
Little nooks that you
Yeah,
can.
you
Okay.
could walk through the entire ship and they would have tons of chairs where people were sitting and listening to music. And the Navigator doesn't have the room for that. But I've sent you pictures. You never saw it crowded, and you always
Right.
saw plenty of
Right.
seating.
Right. I
So
was just wondering, like, if somebody's older, if that's a consideration, would you think on the Anthem for you to get to where you want to eat or something, is it a considerable more walk
there's a considerable amount of walking.
for both?
No, the Navigator seemed really small
Okay.
as far as that for me, but I had just come off the Anthem, and before that, I had been on the Quantum, not the Quantum, the Oasis, which is their largest ship, and that's like 3 football fields. You feel
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go all the way to one end, you go, oh, darn, the food's at the other end. And you turn around, you go, oh, not that food, the other food. So I think I put in like 50,000 steps every day.
Well, it's. I just thought, it might be a point of consideration if somebody has maybe a bum leg, a bad knee, that they might want to think about the smaller ship for that reason.
Well, people that have bum legs and that usually bring scooters when they're
Uh-huh.
on a ship
Okay.
like that. They just do. And you'll see scooters all over the place. As a matter of fact, in front of the dining rooms, it's like a scooter park,
Okay. Parking lot.
Yeah. So that's never a
That's another
concern.
an issue.
But I will
Okay.
say that the Anthem has less navigation room. It's
Okay. Now that's good.
narrower.
Yeah.
Their promenade is narrower, and where the Navigator is not. So
That's a good point.
yeah, yeah. I think that for someone older that doesn't want to be crowded in, I think the Navigator offers more room
That's
that
good.
way.
All right. Well, that's good. That's a good comparison and contrasting, and there are some differences, but they're both enjoyable, I'm sure. So,
They are both enjoyable, and to be honest with you, I mean, there's only about 1,000. I think there's 4,900 passengers on the Anthem. That's how many they can, and there's 38.
okay.
So there's not that much
Yeah,
difference
right, right.
on them. There's only 1,000, and
Okay.
you get more crew per passenger on the Navigator.
Oh, okay. Now,
So
what about food? Was the food equal, or does one stand out as far as the food?
yeah, the food. Yeah, I have to say that.
I mean,
Boy,
that's a big point to me, and I think
yeah,
that would be important to anybody that's probably even considering. I mean, the food's a big selling point.
the food is a big selling point. They had. I liked the food better on the Navigator. However, I liked what they call their Windjammer, which is a buffet. It's an all-day buffet, if you
Okay,
please. I think the Windjammer was way better on um, the Anthem, and that
okay.
probably is 90% because of its size. It was huge, and so they had more selections.
Oh, yeah. See, that's important. You
It
know.
is important, and they hands down had a better Windjammer. And I'm
See,
trying to.
that's almost counterintuitive. I would have thought that would have went to Anthem.
Well, it did. The Windjammer was way better at the Anthem.
Oh, it's Anthem. Okay. All right.
Yes,
I got
because
you.
it was just huge.
I got it. I
And
was
yeah.
confused. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No, no,
probably
no,
said that
no. It's
wrong.
it's me. I'm easily confused. I get lost in the whole scene of it.
Well,
I'm
that's
just
okay.
thinking about the endless buffet all day.
I was. I thought of you when I saw
I
that.
mean, my eyes are glazing over. It's
But
like,
they have good.
snap out of it.
They did. I mean, on Seafood Day, oh, that
Oh,
buffet is so crowded. My
oh my
God.
gosh.
I
I,
mean,
I would try.
they have buckets and buckets and buckets of shrimp coming and crab and fish and
Oh,
everything. But the main dining room I think is better. Well, because they don't have a main dining room, remember,
yeah,
in
right, right.
the other. Although they changed it and now every dining room has the same food. Where
Okay.
it used to be they had a Japanese cuisine and they had Italian, and it depended on which restaurant you were in.
Okay.
People didn't like that. So,
Really? I thought that would have been nice.
no, you had to make reservations every night. So it wasn't that
Oh.
nice. So now it's all the same.
So now you can get it anywhere. All the
Yes.
same.
Well, you're
Okay.
you're assigned to a dining room.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, it's okay. It's not for me, but
Yeah.
I like that big, beautiful main dining room.
Yeah.
So, and they did have better food. I
Okay.
had better food, and I think part of that was because you had the waiters, and they didn't have that many people. I think that they had a nice passenger to crew ratio.
Okay, sure.
And so you got a lot of attention there, and they just made it nicer for you.
Hmm.
So, for me, I liked that. That was good. And they all have, Starbucks and Ben and Jerry and Johnny Rockets, and
Uh,
so they have a specialty steakhouse, which is extra money if you don't want to eat at the dining room. You can go
okay.
there.
Hmm.
It's pleasant. It's nice, but the dining room is, I think it's fine. So
Good enough for me.
it
Give
is
me
good
the
enough.
stuff that's
And
included.
yes, I mean, even as much as if you want wine, you're allowed to bring 2 bottles. They don't tell you this, but you're allowed to bring 2 bottles per cabin of wine
Okay,
with you on board.
I see.
And so I always do.
Oh, okay. Very
Bring your
good.
wine. You can
Sure.
open it up in your room, put it in a glass, and bring it to your dining hall
Ah,
if you want. So,
excellent.
yes,
The
save you a
inside
little
tip.
money, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the inside tip.
Yes,
Very good.
yes,
That'll,
yes.
yeah, we should do a whole video on that. Just tips, experience and tips and tricks
Yep, there you
from the
go.
experienced cruiser.
Hey, it took me like 10 cruises to figure that out.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
That's
some
great.
nice woman told me, she goes, bring your own wine. I mean, I see people doing it all the time. They bring Coke, they bring water, they put it in their suitcase, and I'm thinking, but I will bring the wine.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All
yeah.
right.
So
Well,
when are
this
you
is
going on your
great.
cruise
I
there,
don't
old
know.
man?
You've really talked me into it. So,
I think
um,
you need to try it. I do.
I'm kind of holding out that Royal will send us maybe a free pass. For
Oh, don't hold
I,
out too
I, I
much.
keep holding out.
Well, they do give away free cruises, I will tell
So
you that.
yeah,
So, yeah.
they could like send me one free, and then I'll bring two with me or something type thing. So
Well, they do
you know,
have, if you share a room,
hmm
some of the cruises, you have to pay for two. It's always linked to, two to a cabin.
hmm
But if you have a third, sometimes the third and fourth are free.
Oh,
Well, you only have
really?
three, but see,
Yeah. So we could
you
do.
could
Yeah.
you could get another one.
Yeah. Right. There you
You could take
go.
Hank for
You're
free.
right. Well, thank you so much. These are always enjoyable, and I think they're helpful. They do pretty good,
Well,
and I
thank you.
know.
I
Yeah.
hope if it helps anybody,
Yeah. I'm sure
I'll be
you're
happy.
you've got valuable experience. So, thanks so much for your time, and thank you everybody for watching. We always appreciate it. We enjoy making them. So, till next time, we'll see you.